Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode number 197. Yes, this series is 3 episodes away from each episode 200. And it's quite something, though, that this is actually my third anime review series to reach 200, because the first one was Boruto, I think the second one was One Piece, and now this is going to be the next one. And I'm thinking not long after this one, it probably either I think Black Clover might be the next one. I think the only one I can think of after that will reach as far is probably going to be My Hero Academia. As far as I can think, anyways. So, this episode we are discussing the 1084th episode of the series, The Freezing Cold Man. Is this adapted from the manga? Nope. It's complete anime original. Now, the thing starts off with this older gentleman who is basically going to a freezer, a warehouse freezer, looks like he's doing an inspection, and then we see somebody in a yellow coat kind of closing the door on him, because for some reason the door was open. Yeah, this is never explained in the episode. The door just opens up after you close it. So, and apparently whoever opens this door, apparently the sunlight is very bright when you open it. And apparently this freezer is really, really cold. And I can kind of buy the fact this freezer can be cold, because I've been in a couple freezers like that. One when I work for Walmart, and the other one the other one I've been like that is when I work at McDonald's. That one's also cold as well. Yeah, so I've been there for a bit, and of course look at the floor, and well, here's the thing. So he's found by another gentleman and the guy who's there is actually become a president. The other one's basically probably like a vice president, and he basically finds them and basically tries to go to the animals like. Of course, he suspects that possibly one of the sons did it. We do see one of the sons where he is wearing a yellow coat. But it looks like, though, and it's shown in the episode too, he's wearing dress pants instead of wearing a yellow coat. Yellow, like, raincoat, per se. Well, they actually do explain this, of the reason why he dresses like this. So, throughout the episode, we investigate who's responsible now. Of course, the president himself does not suspect his sons at all. He thinks it's just an accident. That's what he thinks anyways. So, he thinks it's an accident, and he does not believe his sons are responsible for this at all. So, over the course of the episode, Conan and a little bit of Mori investigate who's responsible for this. And it turns out, after knocking Mori, and of course we see also the older son, and also revealed that we have an interesting clue here in this episode where there was this briefcase where apparently the president received it 2 days prior to the events of this episode because it was his birthday. And according to the older son, he says the reason why he got him that because previous briefcase, a brown one, was, I think he said, was fading, and according to he wanted the company president to look sharp. Okay. Perfectly fine. Nothing really wrong there. And then, of course, he mentioned, he probably knew, the other guy knew about it, but then Conan basically probably kind of knew that. Expected it was his. And then, of course, it reveals, Mori knows exactly who's responsible for this. And by the way, Ran's the episode, and she does some legwork off screen, which I'm kind of surprised they do this, because here's kind of the thing when it comes to Ran in these animated episodes. A lot of the time, she does nothing. She just stands around, just is there to witness everything. She doesn't do anything at all. This episode, Conan gets herself stuff to do, which that is surprising to say the least, the fact he gave her something to do. Then pretty much like right after basically, like, then of course there's a little show and it reveals the person responsible is not the two sons. They like, was the other son? Nope, not him. Turns out it's the guy who found him. Yeah. And he says one of the reasons why he's expecting because he's basically the same build as the younger son. And it turns out that the reason why he actually did this was because he didn't trust the younger sons. He thought they'd lead the company to ruin. And according to him, well, here's the thing. The older son, now they mentioned also in the episode that he did have some other employees. They were let go. They've actually hired by our company. All of them. All the ones they let go. And also the fact that, well, the younger son had to grovel at a women's club to get a contract. Yep, got him a huge contract. I'm like, wow. And they showed the fact he wears a suit. Yeah, the fact he wears a suit and a raincoat. Now, that also look like he has a girl there too. Now, why the heck the girl is there for? It's almost like this is supposed to be a plot thread in the episode, but it was dropped. I kind of feel as though this was supposed to be something like, maybe this girl's going to be his girlfriend. Or maybe he was a lover of his, basically conspiring to, just take down the company. Like, oh, it'll be tonight, whatever. Not really. It's almost like whatever plans that the writer made for the episode. Excuse me. It's almost like basically that it could have been one of the two sons. It looked like it could have been. But they went with the older guy because reasons. It felt as though it fell a bit out of nowhere. The fact he was one of the, and it looked like though one of the two sons could have done it because they disagreed with the father. They want to retire. But the way it seems as though that was probably going to be the plan, to have one of the sons feel they wanted to do it. But they don't want to basically go down that road having a son murder the father in order to inherit the company. That's probably, I'm sure the writer of the episode must have either realized that or probably his producer probably told him this. I'm just spitballing here, saying, hey, we can't have a son murdering the father in order to get a company. Like, let's change that. Let's keep that part as a red herring, but change. I'm sure he probably was planning to have one of the sons revealed to be the one who did this, but he went with the other guy because they explained in the episode, you show off in the episode the fact that it could have been the two, but not really. They care about the company. They thought it might lead the ruin. Like, one's heartless, the other one's basically a partier. Yeah, that was basically for show. Yeah, it's almost like basically that they not necessarily, like I mentioned, either they planned it or they didn't plan them this way. Who knows? Even though the ending fell a bit out of nowhere, the fact that it was the guy who was actually trying to help him, and apparently he wanted the company for reasons. Oh, by the way, they do show it where the fact that the president is basically sweating the fact the guy behind him tried to murder him. His best friend tried to murder him. And he's like this the whole time. When it revealed that he was on fire, he's like, oh my gosh, you tried to murder me, dude. Why? He has that reaction the whole time. I'm like, wait, did the animators basically forget the fact he has that reaction? Like, this is shocking, though. The fact that I get the fact the shock reaction with a sweat mark. Now, usually when they have stuff like this happen, usually because the guy is lying. Here he's sweating the fact out of fear, the fact the man standing right behind him tried to murder him in order to gain control of his own company. Yeah. Apparently the sons basically kept the composure the whole time while the father, the old man is basically just shocked the fact his best friend trying to murder him. Yeah, now here's the thing. The whole thing in the show where you have a friend killing another friend, that is a standard trope of the series when they have stuff like this. Now here's the interesting thing that comes to this. When it comes to this episode. It's one of those rare occasions when the victim is not a complete jerk. Because usually a lot of the time, the people get killed off, who get murdered, who get murdered in the episodes, are not nice people. Not really. Yeah, they're not nice people. And one of those rare occasions where that didn't happen. Okay, interesting. But yeah, not much else to say about this episode. Oh, and by the way, there will not be a review for this next week because I did look up online. It's going to be a repeat next week. So, no new Case Ghost episode. What will happen probably next week? Unless I get done Dr. Stone on Thursday, I'll probably review Dr. Stone next week. Maybe some comic corners. Maybe, do I think at that point, might be getting back to reviewing more episodes for the Ace Academy? Maybe, I'm not sure, but it all depends on what else is going on that day, okay? The next episode of Comic Corner, that'll be it for tonight. Okay, next video. Bye.